to the honorable audiences for sparing their precious time to join our webinar today. The most sincere appreciation will be delivered to the Honorable Mr. Julia Hirbarata as the head of STBA Pontianak, the Honorable Mem Sistia Dinita as the head of committee, the Honorable Mem Lini Fitri as the moderator for today's session, the Honorable Mem Irma Mandanegara and Sir Hendro Kunchoro as a part of committee, the Honorable Mem Chitra Suryanovika as the head of LPPM or Research and Community Service Center, and our guest speaker today, the Honorable Mem Adiba Konita Zahro. For the appreciation, I would also like to thank each of institution that has participated in today's webinar. For STKIP Persada Katulistiwa Sintang, Universitas Tanjung Pura, Universitas Mulia, STKIP Paris Barantai Kota Baru, Politeknik Hasnur, Indonesia Open University, UIN Alauddin Makassar, Universitas Hasanuddin, Universitas Muhammadiyah Tapanuli Selatan, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar with the topic Intersection between Popular Culture and Popular Literature. The goals of conducting this webinar are as follows. First, providing students with opinions on popular literature. Second, assisting students in comprehending how popular fiction and popular culture interact. All right, I will read out the rundown of today's agenda. First, opening by MC. Second, opening remarks from head of STBA Pontianak will be delivered by Mr. Julia Hirbarata. Third, opening remarks from head of committee will be delivered by Mem Sistia Dinita. Fourth, introduction of guest speaker will be delivered by Mem Lini. Fifth, material delivery by the guest speaker will be delivered by Mem Adiba Konita Zahro. 7. 6. Discussion and question answer session will be led by Mem Lini. 7. Certificate appreciation will be led by Mem Irma. 8. Photo session and closing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's start our today's webinar with the second agenda, which is opening remarks from head of STBA Pontianak by Mr. Julia Hirbarata. Sir, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, all ladies and gentlemen. How are you all?
Morning,
Morning. I hope we all are
morning,
fine.
sir.
Okay, morning. And thank you for the opportunity given to me today. I hope that all of us are all in good shape and blessed by God. And hold a webinar entitled Intersection Between Popular Culture and Popular Literature, which is going to be brought by our respected speaker, Ms. Adiba Kunita Jaro SF, and from Gadjah Mada University. I would like to thank our speaker, Ms. Adiba Kunita Jaro SF, MD, all teams from STBA Pontianak, and to all participants who are present in today's webinar. I hope this webinar is able to broaden our knowledge and give contribution to the education of our beloved country, Indonesia. I think that's all from me. I hope you all enjoy the MC. Thank you. Next time I give back to NC. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the next agenda. Opening remarks from Head of Committee by Ma'am Sistia Dinita. Ma'am, time is yours.
Thank you, Krishna, for giving me the opportunity. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, all the honorables, Mr. Julia Herbarata, and most especially for Miss Adiba Konita Zahro, my dearest friend, for coming today. I am so grateful that we have this chance to gather in this academic forum, we can say, Miss Adiba. How are you, Miss?
Hello, Miss Sistia. I'm very fine and glad to meet you here.
You look so gorgeous this
Oh,
morning.
you too.
Okay, I hope you're in the best health and condition today. Yeah, so we can
Yeah, sure.
have fun today with your will be wonderful lecture. We are looking forward. Like these past few months to hear your lecture, Miss Adiba.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so just like the topic for today, the title, intersection between popular culture and popular literature. I hope that we will be learning a lot from our guest speaker today. Oh yeah, I also would like to thank you for the fellow lecturers who have helped in making this webinar happen, and also the students, particularly, and general audiences. Thank you for attending today. May we are all always blessed with health and happiness, because I'm so grateful that this morning we are given this chance to meet in this forum. Regarding to this popular literature, the reason why I put the title in this part 3 of the webinar, this is already the the third part of the webinar, Fact and Fiction, that I conducted with my friends. So because I know that popular literature has been so, it looks like a simple phrase, yeah, popular, the word popular. But it has been so, what we call, deceptive, because one of the problems with finding the clear definition of popular, and especially popular literature, is that the object of the study is not always clear. And the cultural formation designed by the popular literature has changed over time and varies according to its can be cultural and geographical situation. So popular literature itself is frequently thought of as those books that maybe everyone reads, usually imagined as the bestsellers that can reach probably wider audiences across social and cultural divisions. And we might be thinking that it has remarkable commercial success. However, the definition tells us very little actually about what are the influences on the culture. So, and perhaps even it would be misleading to interpret or to imply that the word popular in popular literature is purely a matter of sales. Because in fact, the concept of the popular itself has a longer and more complex, I think, in terms of the political and cultural history that also impacts upon the ways in which popular literature has been understood. This is just my point of view. So in this webinar, hopefully we can figure out about more of the terms, the popular and culture, and how popular literature is seen. So I hope you guys, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here, can enjoy the session with one of the best, well, I can say who is already familiar with the popular culture and popular literature, who is Miss Adiba today. So thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That's all from me.
Thank you, ma'am, for your speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the next agenda. Introduction of the guest speaker by Ma'am Lini. Ma'am, time is yours.
Okay. Before we start our webinars today, let me introduce our speaker. Our speaker is a lecturer of English Literature in English Studies Program, Faculty of Cultural Science, Universitas Gadjah Mada. She especially teaches about women in literature, popular literature, and modern literature. She was graduate from University of Aberdeen, the United Kingdom, Master of Letters in English Literary Studies. She also a researcher who has done a lot of research, especially in literature. Some of her research are British and American romantic literature, elements of children's literature of digital era seen in Android-based webcomics. She also an editor for Literary and Linguistic Spectrum, a section editor and reviewer for Lexicon, Journal of English Language and Literature. This led to her current journey here to discuss the intersection between popular culture and popular literature. Please welcome Ms. Adiba Kanita Jahra, MD.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, it's been very nice to join this webinar, and thank you Bapak Julahir Barata, Ibu Sistia Dinita, and Bu Lini for having me today. So today we're gonna talk about popular literature and the intersection with the popular culture. But before we start, I want everyone here in this Google Classroom to join quizzes, yeah? Before that, may I share my screen? Okay, apparently I still cannot share my screen because it's only the host that can. May I get the permission for that? Okay, thank you for the access. Please give me some time. Okay, so I try to make this presentation, what is it, kind of active. Yeah, so I want everyone to join this, and then in the middle of the presentation, there will be a quiz, some quiz with some questions in it regarding what the material that is being delivered today. Okay, everyone can join this by using the code, or I'm going to copy the link as well, so everyone can join via link as well. Wait a minute. Okay, silahkan. I've just sent the link here via the chat room. Ini pakai namanya nama asli ya, jangan nama panggung, biar bisa terdeteksi. Oke, Mbak Angela, the very first participant. Dan Mbak Monica, silahkan masuk yang lainnya. It's adding up, yeah. How many people already here? Okay, almost 50, right? Okay, for everyone who's still joining, I think you can just menyusul ya. Kita mulai saja. Don't worry, I will not leave you because in the several slides at the beginning, I'm still going to talk. Yeah, we haven't started the quiz yet. All right, anyway, about the popular literature today, well, I'm sorry. Ini sudah visible ya, slide pertamanya. Okay, I think it's visible already. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, this meeting will introduce everyone to the cultural and popular literature framework that encompasses the notion of popular literature as the distinct kind of discipline. And later, we will touch some of the key issues in the broader discussion of what is meant by the term culture and popular. And we'll start by defining the word popular. And then the word culture, and then I will give you the kind of rundown about the current situation or the current understanding of popular literature. And there's also a lot of debate about popular culture. And we're going to look at the roots of popular culture, the controversies about popular culture, and the numerous implication of popular culture. There are a lot of things, but I hope I can, cover it up today. But if don't, if I can't, but probably I will just cover up the first two. Yeah. And then if the time allows, we'll complete our discussion with the literary merit and the marketplace of popular literature, and then the media with a brief look at the, popular literature today. Okay. All right. This is the objective that I have mentioned previously. Oh, wait a minute. This is the quiz. Okay. All right. I forgot that after this will be the quiz. Okay. Before that, I'm going to let you know about what the quiz is about. The quiz is about, you have to decide whether the thing that I show you in the screen can be considered as popular literature or not. Okay, it's very simple. Decide whether it is popular not popular literature, popular culture or not. Okay, siap ya? Monggo, bismillah. Oke, kira-kira ini populer atau bukan populer? Nah, ini saya set cepat ya, agar teman-teman gelagapan. Oke, this is the leaderboard. Nah, jawabannya no, ya. Yang benar adalah jawabannya no. This is not popular literature. It's popular culture. Even though it was played on the radio, which is popular to us. Some of us still listen to radio, right? But the music, the object that we are listening to is not popular. Yeah, it is something classic. Ya, dari Mozart. Jadi ini tetap dianggap bukan sebagai popular culture. Gitu. Oke, yuk coba lagi. Ini pasti tahu ya, yang sukanya K-pop. Coba lihat jawabannya. Oh ya, ini pastilah jelas sekali. Lanjut. What about the word pop? Is it popular or not? Let's see. How is it going? Ini kayaknya Mbak Junior tetap ini ya, memimpin. Oke, ya betul sekali jawabannya adalah yes. Hampir semua orang, ini semua orang benar ya, semua orang yang menjawab. Nice. Kita lanjut. Okay. The plays William Shakespeare studied by a class of university students last week. Ini kesukaannya Miss Tia ya, Shakespeare. I cannot believe that someone likes Shakespeare. Hebat. Saya dengar katanya Miss Tia juga mengajarkan Shakespeare play in your class, ya. Itu mungkin penting kan kalian diajarin Shakespeare, karena nggak mudeng tuh Shakespeare ngomong apa kan.
Itu bilang saya suka Shakespeare itu sarkas banget itu Adi.
Oh sarkas ya ternyata. Saya kira beneran. Oke. Nah, ini sudah 50-50 nih hampiran. Plays William Shakespeare studied by a class of university student last week. Nah, ini the plays ya yang kita liatin adalah plays-nya. Nah, berarti meskipun dia dipelajari oleh kita-kita nih sekarang, it's not popular. Oke? Ini tetap klasik. Nah, jadi 26 orang ini yang menjawab no sudah benar. Gitu ya. Lanjut. Oh, wait a minute. Yuk. Nah, sekarang I want to know about your preliminary understanding about popular culture after looking at the previous questions. Ya. Oh, yang seperti ini Mozart itu ternyata not popular, klasik. Yang popular terus contohnya kayak ini tadi ya, Mas Riko bilangnya Korean culture. Nah, terus yang Shakespeare itu masih klasik juga, meskipun sekarang kita masih membahasnya. Seperti itu. Nah, sekarang apa nih arti dari popular culture gitu? Banyak ya yang menyebutkan Korean culture. Apakah popular culture ini hanya bersinonim dengan Korean culture atau lebih luas cakupannya? Coba. Western culture, Hollywood. Oke. Mbak Nida menyebutkan culture that booming in this era. Thank you. Mas Bayu, something that is modern, classic is still cool though. Yes, of course. Cool and excruciating to understand. And then Mas Niko, for right now, like K-pop and Korean culture. Okay. Pratiwi, set of practices and objects that embody most broadly shared meaning of a social system. Oh, keren banget ya. Oh, ini jangan-jangan dosen nih ya. Lanjut, Mbak Monica, culture that most everyone knows. And then Mas Octavianus, any kind of arts and culture, arts and literature that is popular in current era. Oke. Mbak Monica juga bagus ini jawabannya, culture that be famous in society or modern such as art, dance, or film. Okay, nice. Nah, kita simpan dulu ya preliminary understanding kita. Sekarang kita lanjut. So, what about popular culture and literature? Nah, kita masuk ke introduction-nya. Okay. Sip. As a cultural artifact, literature is viewed as mirror to its people. Yeah, that's why I wrote it here. Popular literature and popular culture means people's literature and people's culture. Yeah. It's not only mirroring the people, but also the time and place. Ya, jadi ada temporal, ada spasialnya juga di situ. And there's a saying that literature does indeed reflect society as a whole. So the term literature here refers to written work that are deemed to have some artistic worth and enduring significance. Okay, and both, if you combine the word popular and literature at the same time, there are the key components of the phrase popular literature, right? And there's a lot of room for interpretation in that phrase. The Greek people call popular as, no, wait a minute. I think I messed up here. The Greek word for people, yeah, itu populus gitu. I don't know how to pronounce it in Greek language, tapi tulisannya populus gitu. Which is where the term popular originates from. And as a result, popular literature and culture kind of reflect the tastes and the interests of the general public at a certain time and space. Among today's critical, vocabulary, popular refers to everyday, accessible, and well-liked, most liked, casual, or as well as to policies and items that serve the general public. It may be also used to literature, politics, and social sciences. In order to grasp the definition of popular culture and popular literature in all of their other aspects, it is crucial for us to know the origins of the phrases and then the histories and the context. Therefore, we first need to define the term culture. What is culture? Okay. In order to set the stage for our, discussion of popular literature, there has been a lot of debate around the term culture for a long time. And one of the most difficult terms, according to Raymond William, one of the, expert in cultural studies, he mentioned that one of the most difficult terms in English is culture, because to define it, it's so hard. Okay, there are a lot of interpretation to it as well. And as a result, it will be beneficial to chart the, chronological progression of the concept of culture. And when we go back to the Latin roots of the term, we discover that the word culture is originated from the word cultura, yeah, in Latin, tulisannya cultura. And it also comes from the root colore, tulisannya colore, gitu, meaning to occupy, to nurture, to protect, and to honor through worship. Ada worship di situ, so it means that it's sacred actually. And then since then, the word husbandry, yeah, has taken a new meaning, which is the practice of cultivating nature. And the culture here, we're gonna look through. Yeah, just skip it. No, this one. We're going to talk about the development of the definition of culture itself, starting from 16th century. It means that the culture in 16th century meant a person's development or cultivation of human characteristic. So Enlightenment notion of culture was a synonym for the term civilization in the early 18th century. And during the Enlightenment, only the official and the elite culture of European civilization was regarded as sacred. Other than that of European civilizations, culture, it's not sacred, it's not regarded as cultural. Yeah, that's why in a post-colonial kind of notion, yeah, people yang di luar Europe, it's barbaric. Tanda kutip, barbaric, it means uncultured. They don't have culture because they don't, follow European culture. Actually, there's also, historical background of the word barbar. Ya, barbar itu sebetulnya bukan berarti orang yang tidak berkultur atau yang lagi gitu ya, yang nyermin atau tidak punya aturan dalam bersosialisasi, bukan seperti itu. But actually barbar is originated from the name of tribe, if I'm not mistaken, ya, in the North Africa. Nah, tapi mereka si Eropa ini udah memaknainya sebagai orang yang tidak berkultur itu tadi. Ya, narsistik itu memang orang Barat ya. And anyway, ini malah julitin orang Barat, astagfirullahalazim. Okay, and then the thing is here. Nah, the term culture is largely used as an umbrella term to refer to all activities or practices which produce sense or meaning. And I think after this we're gonna have a quiz, all right? Nah, yuk, biar nggak ngantuk nih ya, Sabtu-Sabtu pagi-pagi yang harusnya bisa rebahan, harus ikut seminar. Yuk, silahkan kita siap-siap untuk menjawab pertanyaan. Ya, it's going to be easy. Monggo. Yuk, dipilih. Ya, ada popular culture, ada culture, mass culture, or cultural studies. Which one is the most complicated words defined in English language by Raymond Williams? Terusan saya sebutkan ya. Semoga tidak lupa. Oke, kurang 1 detik. Nice. Oke, Mbak Yuniar masih memimpin. Ini internetnya paling bagus kayaknya nih Mbak Yuniar. Oh, jawabannya ini hasilnya sangat beragam ya. There are 20 people choose popular culture, and then 13 people who are correct choose culture, and then 1 people choose mass culture, and then 8 cultural studies. Nah, ini yang benar adalah culture. Gitu. Ini mungkin yang satu dia kenyunyuk gitu ya. Salah pencet Miss, biasanya gitu kalau mahasiswa saya. Ini kok salah, ya jawabannya salah pencet gitu ngakunya. Tapi nggak apa-apa. Lanjut ya. Nah, dari penjelasan tadi, coba teman-teman lihat. Ini, explain the term culture in your own words. Culture itu apa sih kira-kira? Monggo, ini saya berikan waktu agak panjang ya teman-teman sehingga bisa ada waktu untuk mengarang. Don't worry about about being wrong. There is no right or wrong here in defining the culture because the experts are also still confused about that. Ini nggak ada yang menjawab ya? Saya lihat tampilan tanggapannya diem aja nih, ayo. Ada yang bertanya, raising hand. Adakah pertanyaan? Loh, hilang raising hand-nya. Pencet kah? Sepertinya kepencet ya. Hanya ada 5 orang ya yang sanggup atau berani menjawab. Yang lainnya malu-malu. Nih, dari Muhammad Tegar, Mas Tegar, the way of life that passed down from generation to generation. Nice. Mbak Dita, a culture that can symbolize our own country. Bagus. Mbak Kinara, suatu hal yang sudah menjadi tradisi turun-menurun. Oke, hampir sama ya dengan Mas Tegar. Cie, sekata, sepemikiran. Nanti boleh kenalan tuh. And then Yuni, culture is patrons of humans. Oke. Mbak Natalia ngisinya 0. Dan Mas Erik, the uniqueness of people's habit. Oke, baiklah. Kita lanjut ya. Sekarang. Do you think culture is important? Okay. Why or why not? Do we need culture? You can add the reason, ya. Kalau yes, kenapa? Kalau no, why not? Nah, ini Mbak Nida dan Mbak Nur Fitri sudah menjawab, namun reasonnya kelewat ya. Kalau mau di revisi jawabannya, masih ada waktu, silahkan. We still have around 250 seconds. There are a lot of seconds there. Mas Hugo, yes, because it affects to our daily life in socializing. Good. Mas Bayu, it's important because why not? It keeps us in check. Oh, making variation in life. Yes, culture is important because culture is, apa tadi? Kok hilang? Dia kedosol kayaknya ya sama yang lain. Oh, nih. Yes, culture is important because culture is encompassed. Okay. What do you mean by encompassed? You can probably add that on your answer. Then yes, because we have to maintain the existing culture. Is that it? Why should we maintain that? That will be following up question. And then Mbak Dita. Oke, ini thank you Mbak Dita, rajin sekali untuk menjawab. Important because culture is something that symbolizes our identity of our culture. Nice, it's very nice, yeah. It's important because culture is our identity. Tanpa culture kita nggak bisa punya identitas itu, ya. Oke, ya contohnya batik ini sangat bagus jawabannya Mbak Dita. Konkret ya. And we can also disseminate our culture such as batik. Tuh. Kita kemana-mana tuh, kalau ke luar negeri tuh kayak Mistia. Pinter sekali Mistia dulu bawa batik. Kalau saya sendiri lupa nggak bawa batik. Jadinya beli batik di Inggris, harganya mahal. Ya Allah. Nah, jadi teman-teman nanti kalau misalnya ke luar negeri ya, jangan lupa bawa identitas kita. Gitu.
Dulu berapa beli batiknya, Miss?
Aduh, dulu 15
pound.
Pound, coba bayangin.
Berapa rupiah tuh kalikan 18.000.
Nangis. Itu cuma selendang doang, Miss ya?
Iya, ya. Itu apa? Tapi seingatnya dulu kamu bawa banyak deh, Miss.
Enggak bawa sama sekali.
Ada yang kok jadi batu aja.
Itu niatnya mau ngasihin ke supervisor toh.
Oh, yang untuk bingkisan ya?
Oh, dikasih kan. Aduh, batik beli di mana? Untungnya ada teman kita yang baru datang itu, Mas siapa tuh? Itu jual batik. Harganya 15 pound. Astagfirullah.
Padahal yang jual orang kita juga ya?
Orang kita juga. Aku ingin diskon dong, Mas. Nggak bisa, Mbak. Oke. Mm-mm.
260-an ribu gitu kalau 15.
Mahal banget. Itu hanya seseluir
Padahal
selendang.
di kita Pekalongan,
Tuh di tempat saya, saya kan aslinya Pekalongan ya. Jadi sentra batik, tapi nggak bawa batik. Aduh, itu murah, Miss. Itu paling kalau cuma selembar kecil gitu aja untuk shawl, itu paling ya nggak sampai 50, paling 20.000 itu.
iya, Pekalongan lagi kan.
Murah-murah batik. Memang ini sangat amat weird and ridiculous. Oke, ini Mas Okta nih. It is important because it creates the society of some ethnic. Pintar banget jawabannya. Growing dari, ini anak Jaksel nih kayaknya ya. Yes, cause people need to move or growing dari from the old trend. Campur-campur, biasanya gaul bets. Yes, was culture that shows uniqueness. Oke, bagus. Ini jawabannya oke nih. Nice. Increase our knowledge, yeah. It gives us knowledge about other people's culture. Okay, nice. Mbak, kita lihat ke bawah cepat aja. Create a sense of community. Good. Without culture, we don't have sense of belonging as well. We feel we don't belong to a community. Contohnya ini kalau pas ini ya Miss Tia sama Miss Adiba dulu lontang-lantung gitu berdua di Aberdeen, sama satu lagi namanya Miss Fanny itu teman kita juga. Nah, terus bertiga di UK gitu. Kalau misalnya pas ketemu di jalan gitu senang banget gitu, kayak ketemu saudara sendiri. Terus kemudian ada tambahan 2 lagi, Mr. Ahmad sama Miss Kiki ya, yang kemarin sudah mengisi webinar juga. Nah itu.
Iya, ada di sini kok mereka.
Oh ya, mereka di sini.
Hello.
Oke. Ternyata yang dijulit, yang diomongin ada di sini ya. Thank you, Miss Kiki, for coming, and congratulations for the baby.
Thank you, Miss Adiba.
Ya, new mother.
Kita jadi reunian nih ya, nanti deh reuninya.
Untuk sementara online dulu ya, guys ya.
Oke, nice. Ini jawabannya bagus-bagus. Kayaknya udah ngeset ya understanding-nya. Kita lanjut nih. Semoga masih ingat yang saya sampaikan. Nah, in 16th century, culture itu artinya apa sih? Waktunya cukup lama nih. Silahkan. The growth and cultivation of human attributes, social status. Okay. Growth and cultivation of human. Alright. Lanjut yang banyak jawabnya. I'm waiting. Human attributes, growth of human attribute, growth of human attribute, sama semua duty. Oke. Yuk lanjut yuk semuanya. Masih saya tunggu. Ya sama Miss, emang jawabannya itu gitu ya. Sip. Human, culture is human. Mungkin bisa ini akan lagi ya, di broaden lagi. You can elaborate your answer. Culture refer to growth and cultivation of human attributes. Nah, kalau teman-teman takut lupa nih, bisa nanti kalau Miss Adiba lagi menunjukkan slide-nya langsung di screenshot biar bisa dilihat lagi. Oke, nah sekarang apa nih arti culture in 18th century? Saya tidak lihatkan tanggapannya ya. Takutnya nanti ada yang nyontek. Itu insecurity dari seorang pengajar, takut kalau mahasiswanya nyontek. Monggo. Ini 3 menit guys, tapi kalau misalnya sudah banyak yang menjawab, nanti Miss akan lanjutkan ke pertanyaan selanjutnya ya. Masih ada 1 manusia yang muncul, sekarang ada 2, monggo manusia-manusia lainnya. Oke, sudah ada 15 orang dan saya kepo jawabannya apa aja nih. Coba. Expansion in turn played major role in many and transmission. Oke, synonym for enlightenment concept of civilization. Oh, nice. Who is this? Mas Erik. Bagus. Synonym for enlightenment concept Mas Tegar. Ini pasti pada screenshot ya. Pintar sekali. Enlightenment of civilization. I forget this name. Kasian. Mbak Angelanya lupa. Gak apa-apa. Diingatkan lagi nih sama teman-teman. Synonym for enlightenment concept of civilization. Nah, jadi culture itu sama dengan civilization di abad 18. Oke, kita lanjut ya teman-teman. Thank you for the answer. Yuk coba selanjutnya apa nih pertanyaannya? When did the meaning of the term culture begin to expand? Nah, kapan ini? Yo, tahun 1990-an atau abad 19 atau setelah tahun 18-an? Does it make sense? 1800-an. Monggo. Oke, ini sudah banyak yang menjawab. Saya kepo dulu. Nah, bagus sekali. In the 19th century ya. Kalau misalnya kalian lupa nih, ini aja. Logis saja, habis 16, 18, pasti jawabannya 19 century gitu ya. Oke, bagus. Kita lanjut kembali ke pembahasannya ya. This is about the popular culture. You can see there are a list of popular names in popular culture. Before talking about that guy, let's have a look at popular culture now. And kita sudah diperkenalkan ya to the overall concept of culture, and then civilization, ideology, and the term cultures that is quite confusing up until now. And when it comes to the type of music that person likes, for example, the types of the movie, the genre of the, movie that you enjoy, the types of literature you read, and so on and so forth, there is a strong link between, their occupation, their socioeconomic situation and position. And it's impossible for person's taste to be influenced just by education. Pasti ada aspek-aspek lainnya. Nah, si nama-nama bapak-bapak ini nih, dari Ray Brown, and then Marshall Fishwick, namanya susah-susah ya, Bruce Lute, and then John Cawlty, ini yang paling terkenal sendiri nih, Bapak Cawlty, and then Bapak Russell, and then Bixby, and Leslie Fiedler. They mention a view renowned exponents of popular culture. All of them have attempted to describe the various aspects of popular culture, and the most renowned one is the eyeball. Ya, the eyeball ini dicetuskan oleh Bapak Ray Brown ini. Brown, I don't know how to pronounce his name actually, probably I butchered it. Jadi di mata itu kan teman-teman pasti tahu ya, ada irisnya. Iris lah ya, masih ingat nggak pelajaran biologi? Nah, iris ini the greatest section, which houses the pupil. Ini tempatnya di mana pupil kalian itu berada. Ya, pupil ini kan lies at the center. Ya, nah pupil ini bisa dianalogikan sebagai the center of popular culture, which grows and expands constantly and sees everything in the world in detail. Okay. Also, the eyeball is not vertical but horizontal. Ya, jadi nggak ada classism tuh di situ, ya. As a result, comparing one culture to another as high or low is misguided. Okay, and it is kind of contradictory to what happens in the world of fan fiction. We will talk about that later on. Yeah. So practitioners to popular culture argue that it is necessary for academic life to remain vibrant, but the popular culture is also practical, pragmatic in its approach to learning. As a teaching aid, it may be a useful tool, of course. Many techniques may be used for fostering learning, to eradicate illiteracy, apalagi to keep students in school and to invigorate our educational system. And popular culture itself includes everything from what we watch on television to what we eat every day, to what we dress and how much money we spend on various goods and service. In short, our whole society, and virtually where every aspect of our daily lives and the world around us may be found in that. One of other renowned experts in popular culture, itu namanya Pak Matthew Arnold. Yeah. He feared that popular culture represented a threat to cultural and historical authority. Now, however, German intellectuals yang biasa dirujuk sebagai Frankfurt School, they noted that interest in displacement and threat posed by the mass culture from newspapers, cinemas, what else? Popular fiction, jazz, you can say, in 19th century. As they contended, the contrary is true. It keeps, social authority intact. And the term cultural industry was coined by the German philosophers Max Horkheimer namanya susah. Saya akan coba untuk menuliskan ya. Nama orang Jerman susah banget. Ini saya mengingat teringat zaman saya dulu SMA belajar sosiologi. There are a lot of German philosophers mentioned. Dan namanya similar to Max Horkheimer ini ya. And then also another one, Theodor Adorno, yeah, describe the dynamics of mass culture as well. And sociological and anthropological analysis of popular culture was also attempted as well. And popular culture, according to Bourdieu, yeah, is dimaknai sebagai selebrasi of the remarkable, of the ordinary, of the commonplace, of the common people. Yeah. And I think we're gonna, oh, wait a minute. Langsung kuis ternyata. Oke. Kita lanjut dulu sebelum kuis ya. So, it is safe to say that popular culture refers to art and ideas that are generally accepted or appreciated by many people or large audience. Only sales of books, music, videos may be used to determine this, just like what have been mentioned by Mrs. Tia di awal ya. And the results of audience choice surveys for, you know, various television shows might also be examined as well. And we can see from these numbers that there is a quantitative component to the popular culture as well. So people in a culture appear to expect it. And to put it in another way, the term mass culture is often used to describe popular culture, which is mass-produced, mass-marketed, yeah, and non-discriminating customers who purchase with brand-numbing passivity are the target for this commodified cultures, formulaic and manipulative to some extent tactics. And in recent years, this has become a hot button issues. Despite significant advertising, many new items fail to make an impression because there are too many competitors. Many film fails to recover even after the promotional expenditures at the box office, like what just happened recently. Film Kembang Api ya di Indonesia. Many people say that it is a very, very good film. However, nobody knows about that. Ya, jadi kayak semacam disayangkan gitu. Ya karena apa ya? There are a lot of things. One of the aspect is because the lack of promotion. Nah, what make the promotion was lacking? Probably about the budget. We don't know, right? Saya sendiri juga belum nonton tuh apa namanya film Kembang Api. Katanya bagus sekali, jadi kepo sebetulnya. Tapi belum ada waktu guys ya. Even Sabtu aja nih kita bareng-bareng di sini, gitu. Jadi nggak ada waktu untuk healing nih. Jadi curhat jadinya ya. Oke, going back. Sampai mana tadi? Ya, yang tadi box offices. And then you can say based on the quantitative data, around 80% of music and video records created each year lose money. Jadi nggak untung gitu. And such data obviously challenges the idea that culture and cultural consumption is a passive and automated process. If you are K-pop lovers, you also can realize can be aware with the situation in the K-pop now. Pokoknya mereka tuh keep producing gitu. Kalau zaman dulu tuh, zamannya Miss Adiba masih K-popers ya, when I was little girl in high school, itu satu boy band itu paling rilis album atau rilis single sekali aja setahun gitu. Dan we can see the schedule ya. Oh, kalau misalnya SNSD itu biasanya keluarnya bulan apa gitu. Terus Suju kapan, shiny kapan, kayak gitu. But now, okay, everybody just produces many things, ya. Like they don't care about the keuntungannya, kayak gitu. And there appears to be a strong connection between popular and the general public, right? And then we talk about popular culture as a residue. Ya, kaitannya sebagai residu gimana? There is another way to look at and describe popular culture, and that is a subcategory of it. Following the definition of high culture, it argues that there is cultural residue. Now, popular culture is defined as cultural writings and activities that do not match the requirement necessary to be considered high culture. To put it another way, popular culture is a form of culture that is considered subcore, not important, by the rest of society, but they like it as well. So it's kind of paradoxical. And claims that popular culture is mass-produced and commercial culture, whereas high culture is the outcome of individuals' act of creation of intellectual, are typically used to support this. The latter, the high culture, merits moral and artistic reaction, whereas the first requires only by a brief glance and offers nothing. This hegemony and popular culture are subject to this, rolling situation in the world. Wait a minute. Can we start the? Oke, sepertinya kita bisa mulai ke kuisnya ya. Oke, yuk siap-siap kuis lagi, guys. Monggo. Oke, didefinisikan sebagai kategori residu ya, yang terbuang. Terus popular culture itu apa sih kira-kira? Ini kayaknya belum selesai, ini salah juga nih tulisan saya. Nah, kita harus memilih antara meets all the standard of according to high culture atau what is left over after the culture, high culture has been defined. Coba dijawab. Nah, cepet banget nih tulisannya, jawabnya ya. Tinggal tunyel-tunyel. Oh, 20-20. Sekarang 22-20. Ayo, yang lain? Oke, Mbak Yuniar masih memimpin. Hebat sekali. Ya, jawabannya adalah yang kanan ya. Residu yang terbuang. Nah, berarti apa? What is left over after high culture has been defined. Gitu. Ketika high culture-nya itu sudah selesai didefinisikan, ya the rest is yang terbuang itu popular culture. Gitu, ya. Baiklah. Coba sebentar. Next-nya apa lagi ini? Yaudah, saya ngomong dulu aja deh kalau begitu. Agar teman-teman bisa menjawab kuis selanjutnya. Mungkin teman-teman sudah pernah mendengar ya namanya Antonio Gramsci. Ya, ini sering muncul di pelajaran sosiologi juga. Sebetulnya dia itu adalah Marxist scholar. Yeah. He argues that the notion of hegemony is essential to understanding popular culture as a whole. And konsep dari Gramsci sendiri, yaitu intellectual and moral, employs to describe the process by which dominating groups in society attempt to gain the assent of their lower counterpart. And Neo-Gramscian's hegemony theory portrays that popular culture as a battleground, you can say, between the resistance of subordinate groups and the forces of incorporation in society. Popular culture, on the other hand, is neither the culture that grows from the bottom up or the culture of the people, but rather it is imposed culture of mass culture theories. And it comes to the new cultures. It's more like a battleground of resistance and incorporation, a state of ideological conflict between the dominant and the subordinate cultures. A counter tradition in literature, or you can say sub-literature, or you can say lowbrow, yeah, as against highbrow. And then apalagi contohnya, the public enterprises as opposed to private enterprises, vulgarity as opposed to avant-garde have all, been to be describing the popular culture. Kira-kira popular culture itu yang mana sih, yang vulgar atau yang avant-garde, yang public atau private gitu, yang literature atau yang sub-literature, and then yang lowbrow atau yang highbrow, seperti itu selalu selalu didiskusikan gitu dan didebatkan. Let's say about the debate or the dispute, over the cult of the elite and the pop. It also has had an especially long and arduous history, but now we are all recognize it as a genuine, though somewhat controversial place for serious study and discussion. Even in UGM as well, one of our professors are conflicting with it, whether comic can be also considered as literature, and then children literature in form of, picture book can also be considered literature because there are a lot more pictures than text, and then film as well. Film cannot be, discussed or taken for the object of research in UGM because it is not literature, because it's more like cultural studies instead of literature. But recently there has been a new direction to that, and we somewhat start to allow our students to take films as their object of literature research. Begitu ceritanya ya. Jadi kita lanjutkan saja dengan kuis agar tidak mengantuk. Monggo, monggo. Ini kayaknya pilihan ganda lagi nih. Hegemony theory is popular culture in term of apa, yo? Ini gampil ya, gampang sekali. Hati-hati, jangan sampai salah tunyul. Oke. The time is also up. Okay, nice. Let's see. Masih Mbak Yunia. Ini bagus sekali. Yang menjawab benar sangat banyak ya, majority. Bagus. Oke. Alright. From here we will talk about the mass culture. Mass culture itu sebenarnya dari mana sih kan gitu ya? Tadi saya lihat ada teman-teman yang menjawab popular culture itu adalah Western culture atau American culture, ada yang menyebut seperti itu, and that is true, yeah. Mass culture is imported from American culture, yeah, and in a way it was imported as from American culture for critics who operate within the mass culture paradigm, And this modern kind of popular culture was born in New York City and other major American cities like Los Angeles, Chicago. And many years, theories of popular culture have somewhat attempted to identify American culture as kind of popular culture. And the process that refer to that is Americanization, Amerikanisasi gitu ya. Wah, kamu pakai jeans ya, udah teramerikanisasi biasanya seperti itu. Ini juga ada kaitannya dengan homogenization of American culture. Yeah, and it has led to the collapse of British culture as a result. To say that it is true is to say that popular culture became a widespread phenomenon in the United States as early as 1920s. Yeah, many critics were the first to, express worry about this much lauded culture in the 1940s, if I'm not mistaken, and 1950s. However, popular culture's expansion or of consciousness doesn't divide cultures and dilute them into the lowest common denominator as they believe it does. For example, if you ask Fiedler about American culture, he argues that the country's popular nature is hidden under the thin overlay of imported European elitism. Kalau nggak salah dia bilang seperti itu. Jadi, when European and other non-American cultures discuss about the incursion into their culture of popular form like rock, country, jazz, Western music, comic books, soap operas, apalagi detective fiction, they tend to refer to it as a Americanization, the creeping Americanization to homogenize people in the world. Yeah, and I think we were gonna talk about popular literature right now. I want to make a link to it. In other words, despite the fact that stories, songs, apalagi novels, plays, and other form of popular literature have been there since the dawn of the time, the area of popular literature as a whole was given a very serious study in the 20th century. Ya, jadi sebelumnya itu belum ada tuh bahasan popular literature. It only comes up in the 20th century, to be exact, in around 1960 or 1970s. Yeah, so. It should be gathered from the numerous critical and theoretical remarks on popular culture that there was some reluctance to include in the academic discourse, because before, popular culture is not regarded as important, right? Quite a bit of time has passed since then. Postmodernism to considerable extent played a significant influence in its current legitimacy of popular literature. So we can say that popular literature was actually legitimized by postmodernism. During 20th century, postmodernism kind of wrote about a collapse of categorization in literature. It ended a system of social stratification based on cultural differences, and then the triumph of commerce over culture was also hailed during the postmodern era. And with the advent of postmodernism, the line between genuine and commercial culture began to blur, even though it's still there, but it's become blurring. And in television ads and music, an excellent example may be discovered from that. A rising number of musicians have had hit singles as a consequence of the tunes being used in television ads and YouTube, for example. And this relationship begs us further questions. What is being marketed, the music or the product, or something like that? Yeah. And both, I think, is the obvious response. Even postmodernists such as Frederick Jameson, terus apa lagi namanya? I forgot the name. I'm so bad at names ya. Ya salah satunya itulah Pak Frederick Jameson itu. He recognized this new sensibility in today's cultural debate. So, following that, I think it's time for us to define what is popular literature. It was a type of literature that was not allowed in academic circles. Jahat ya, sedih banget dia kayak di anak tirikan gitu. And it also wasn't something that students learned about in school and at university. I say it was, yeah, because it is in the past. It wasn't even literary, to be honest, not worthy to be taught. And like, you know, tales, oral or recorded ones of kitchen maid, romance, folklore, and other myths. And people still made and consumed them. Those they had a life of their own. However, for example, folklore and literature or something that is, you know, orally told, were determined to be a part of its heritage, the heritage of popular literature. And many academics, such as Leslie Fiedler, reviews somewhat an allegiance to academia as the center of literary and cultural debate in the wake of new critical thinking in current times, but instead advocated that the popular in literature, popular in literary and cultural discourses. He also views that popular music and tales, and chiefly story, can also be considered as popular literature, but that will be debatable as well. That which has been exiled from university education, yet has remained popular among the society. And it is referred to as popular literature. And if you have ever been thought that popular literature is a genre or subgenre, you are wrong, right? It is not a form of literature or subgenre or invention of the writers of the novels. Elitist critics, misperceptions and willful misinterpretations are what give rise to the notion of popular literature in the first place. Therefore, by definition, popular literature is literature that is widely available and is intended for the public. Okay, and that would be debatable as well, since we are now overt, very easily access to classic books like Shakespeare, for example, right? And there are a lot of people who love Shakespeare as well. Will that reduce the level or the level or the definition of or the categorization of Shakespeare stories as classic? Enggak juga kan padahal. Nah, itu jadinya definisi di mana kalau popular literature itu adalah literature yang widely available and intended for public. I think it's not quite match as well. It matched to some extent, but it doesn't to another one, right? Okay, now I think we can start another quiz, guys. Ya, tadi Miss Adiba sudah mengoceh sana sini. Sekarang kita akan ditanyai ya dengan satu pertanyaan. How is culture defined as high or low? Nah, kira-kira apa nih high culture dan apa juga low culture? Silahkan teman-teman, silahkan bisa mulai berpikir. We have 2 minutes to think about it. Ini sudah ada satu manusia yang menulis. Silahkan yang lainnya bisa menyusul. Saya ada 4 orang nih. Ayo, orang kelima. Siapakah dia? Masih 7. Waktunya sudah habis ternyata. Coba kita lihat. Ini kenapa namanya yang tidak aman? Kenapa? Namanya apa emang? Depend on the elite in the society. Coba kita lihat ya. Mbak Angelina. High culture refer to cultural products and practices that are traditionally associated with the elite and upper classes, such as classical music, opera, ballet, literature, and visual arts. Okay. Classic literature, yeah. Not all literature is considered high culture. And then low culture, on the other hand, refer to cultural products and practices that are associated with mass consumption. Okay, popular music, television, and video games. Nice. Well done. Bagus sekali Mbak Angelina. Ini Mbak Dita apa nih? High usually defined as already known among many people, abroad and vice versa. Not necessarily known by many people. Yeah, high is usually only for certain people. The elite one, the people who categorize as elite. Ya, misalnya kayak apa, pamflet, ya gitu. Itu bisa tiba ngomong bahasa Indonesia ya. Capek juga dari tadi ngomong bahasa Inggris. Jadi kayak ini pamflet itu kan hanya untuk orang-orang yang terpelajar, tanda kutip. Nah, pada saat itu in the Western world, orang-orang yang terpelajar itu adalah orang-orang yang punya duit gitu, the elitists, the upper classes. Sedangkan misalnya kayak apa, cerita Sherlock Holmes nih ya, My Beloved Detective, itu considered as popular literature because it is ceritanya tuh, harga ceritanya tuh cheap gitu, dan kertasnya juga yang digunakan itu adalah kertas murahan. Jadi itu memang target audiensnya adalah teman-teman yang di lower classes gitu. That's why there was also a konflik batin gitu ya di yang terjadi dalam hati penulisnya itu Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, dia itu kan jadi kaya raya gara-gara nulis Sherlock Holmes toh. Banyak orang yang dari yang nggak punya duit sampai yang punya duit tuh baca semua gitu. Tapi dia merasa menulis Sherlock Holmes tuh kayak nggak penting banget, apa sih fiksi, nggak ilmiah kayak gitu. Jadi karya dia sendiri tuh dia caki sendiri. And then after that, he tried to direct his literary career to write only pamphlet, the thing that he considered as high, as important. Karena dia itu udah kayak nggak mau buang-buang waktu lagi lah untuk menulis hal yang tidak penting seperti itu. Padahal itu sendiri yang membuat dia kaya raya. Nah, jadi di sini masih ada classism ya in term of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle understanding about literature gitu. Okay. Then Pani, Mas Hugo, based on society is popular, then it can be considered as high culture. If the culture isn't popular or bad, it can be considered. No, it's not like that. Yeah, if it is popular, then it is popular. So popular is the thing that is available to everyone, whether it is liked or not. As long as it is mass marketed, then it can be considered as popular. Yeah, there are actually layered kind of definition of popular. Popular as populer ya, sangat dikenal oleh masyarakat, widely known, and as mass marketed. So like that. Whether it is not, meskipun itu nggak laku gitu, tapi kalau misalnya dijual di mana-mana, then it is called as popular culture. Yeah, because it is for the mass, for people yang siapapun kayak gitu, nggak yang terkhusus orang-orang atas aja gitu. Oke, sip. Nggak banyak orang baca Shakespeare, tapi banyak orang baca komik, ya kan? Tapi Shakespeare itu is hailed gitu, kayak wah, pokoknya masuk Shakespeare, ngajar Shakespeare itu keren banget kayak gitu. Ya, padahal itu banyak yang tidak suka gitu karena saking susahnya gitu, dinilai hanya untuk orang-orang yang otaknya nyampe kayak gitu. Padahal ya emang bahasanya susah ya. Coba deh think further. When you lived in the time when Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet, coba yang konsumsi siapa? Orang-orang kita juga, the mass gitu. Kayak ya orang-orang dari lower class itu pada gathered untuk melihat pertunjukannya Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. Orang-orang kaya raya itu juga di situ juga. Jadi di teater tuh kebak itu apa ya? Full of orang kaya dan orang miskin gitu. Cuma memang tempat duduknya seperti yang kalian udah tahu ya, itu kayak teater itu kan ada perbedaan kasta tempat duduknya. Kalau orang-orang yang kaya itu di atas gitu sambil duduk, terus bawa ini terowongan gitu, circles. Terus kalau orang-orang yang lower classes itu berdiri, semacam nonton konser lah ya. Kalian kan juga dibedakan berdasarkan kasta. Nah begitu. Nah jadi if we look back to the time when Romeo and Juliet was written, then Romeo and Juliet can also be considered as popular, right? Gitu? Ayo loh, tapi kenapa sekarang jadi high culture, jadi high literature? The value has evolved. Itu yang membedakan. Dan sebetulnya perbedaan itu juga ngeblur, teman-teman. Gak jelas sama sekali. Jadi kan saya ditanyain, loh Mbak kok iso, loh gak ngerti, Mbak Diva juga gak tahu. Based on what a high culture and high literature is actually defined, ya kan? Nah, bentar. Nanti saya kasih materinya setelah ini aja deh, biar enak bahasannya. Oke, kita lihat jawaban dari teman-teman lainnya dulu. High culture commonly refers to the set of cultural products, mainly in the arts, held highest esteem by culture. In contrast, low culture refers to such things as gossip magazine, okay, bagus, reality television. Kim Kardashian, the Kardashians itu popular literature, and then popular music, yellow journalism. Bagus sekali, Mas Riko. high art music, not necessarily. There are musics, there is classic, which is high literature like Mozart, you just yang kalian lihat tadi ya. Terus ada juga musik K-pop, itu popular, it's not high. Kemudian Vanessa, high culture is a culture that is known by many people, well known. No, low culture is about the culture that is not widely known. No, it's the other way around. Ya, meskipun high culture itu belum tentu juga not widely known, banyak juga high culture yang widely known ya, kayak Mozart, terus Romeo and Juliet kayak gitu. Tapi biasanya mereka tuh hanya itu tadi, kategorisasinya hanya untuk orang-orang yang elit aja gitu, yang educated gitu katanya. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you very much for answering this question. I think we can should I bentar, saya lagi milih apakah saya seharusnya menjelaskan tentang yang tadi ya, debate tentang kategorisasi popular culture atau kuis. Bentar. Langsung aja deh, ngomong dulu. Saya tak ngomong dulu ya. So when we talk about the genre of popular literature, probably you have already known that there are a lot of genre in it. One of them is romance, right? And romance was the very first kind of genre coined in popular literature. Romance is about kitchen maids. They were frequently penned or authored by women. This kind of literature was not taken seriously enough. There was also a well-known story about forbidden love between two young people. It is also considered as popular literature. But then it also has the same category with Romeo and Juliet, ya kan? Forbidden love between two young people. Tapi kok dia bisa klasik kayak gitu. That's the confusing question. And then there was also fantasy. Kemudian fantasi itu setelah romance ada, yang keluar setelahnya adalah fantasy. Fantasy is the second genre that proved popular with the general public. Contohnya apa? Teman-teman pasti tahu dong ya, Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. That is one of the best known examples of children's literature that falls under the category of fantasy. And even after all these years, Isaac Asimov, one of the fantasy author, the tale that this writer wrote is about fantastical countries and about scientific misadventures. And it still reigns supreme around us, right? That kind of genre. Kayak apa sih itu loh, apa? Yang burung itu? Saya kok mesti lupa ya namanya ya. Katniss Everdeen itu loh. Nah, itu kan tentang scientific misadventure. It's not literally scientific saja, tapi juga futuristik ya. Kayak gitu. Kan itu termasuk ke fantasi juga. And then there was also Western genre. It was very popular among the American general public, kayak cowboys, frontiersmen. And this was a collection of stories about adventures trying the power of man. There's no woman in it. Meskipun ada woman ya, dia kayak relegated to the pinggiran gitu, the second class of the story. And in the late 19th century, if I'm not mistaken, the growth of crime stories, the murder mysteries, espionage fiction, coincided with the popularity And with the detective in the center, mysteries give rise to iconic characters like Poise Auguste Dupont, and then Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, which is my favorite. And then, however, Agatha Christie, ini kesukaannya Misty ya, Agatha Christie, ini remains the undisputed queen of crime fiction to this day. Right, and in the middle of 20th century, Ian Fleming, siapa yang tahu ini pasti cowok-cowok suka ya filmnya James Bond, made the spy fiction genre a household name, really, really popular. And there are a wide range of exciting new forms of writing in popular literature that draw on myths and folklore from the period, such as comic books, cartoon strips, as well as incredibly little narratives and graphic novels. Now, graphic novels as well. It says novels, but then in UGM, it's not considered to be literature because there are more pictures than the text. So it's weird, really, indeed. Okay. As commodity literature, popular literature is dependent on free marketplace. Therefore, it is difficult to prevent such works from finding popularity in stalls and bookstores. Elitist critics believe that the art form favored by the majority of people cannot be considered admirable or worthy of serious consideration, and hence cannot be permitted to the classroom to be taught in classroom or library of a university. Despite this, 2 decades in the 20th century, the boundary between popular and the elite or high culture and literature is becoming increasingly blurred. We'll go into the further details in the upcoming material. The media to actually plays a significant part in generating excitement about, books, about determining whether it will rise to the top of the list or fall to the bottom. And there have been a paradigm shift in the previous 2 decades, in which a tax is put against multiple production machineries or other kinds of representation, such as in the film and television. Analysis of popular narrative or fiction provides kind of fundamental links between literature and culture. If literature is to fulfill its function and aims, it must analyze popular fiction. And in popular literature, there is a strong connection to other arts. So much of popular literature is compelled to lend itself to other mediums by the general public. And literary adaptations to film and celluloid serve kind of an expanded narrative text to the general public, as well as a form of art and a tool for propaganda, of course. Coba, we can just see how many students choose to, watch the film instead of reading the novels, right? That is the reason why in UGM there are, but it actually only happens in this year. In this year, there are more students who choose literature instead of linguistic instead of literature, because in linguistic we can use films as the object. Meanwhile, in literature, we are not allowed to use a film for the research object. Jadi misalnya whenever I asked my student why you choose linguistic instead of literature, and then because I can use film, okay. Yeah, that's the way film and television actually become the bridge between literature and the general public. Yeah, sometimes it also happened when I was younger, when I'm still in the undergrad study. The lecturer of mine usually asks to watch the film when you don't understand the novel or the play. It happens a lot in our Shakespeare class. Ya, jadi ketika kita sudah diminta untuk baca playnya, nggak mudeng, pasti nggak mudeng. Terus disetelin tuh filmnya, terus baru mudeng, oh maksudnya gini ya, meskipun nggak mudeng seluruhnya, because the characters still use Shakespeare language, yeah, the language in the 16th century. Yep. And as a result, going back to the material, as a result, issues such as what happens to literature in film and whether or not film representations affect education actually have been more relevant. Films based on popular literature accounts for half of all new releases nowadays. For example, James Bond, spy novels by Ian Fleming perpetuate kind of white man as a savior of human race, right? Ini otak postkolonialnya aktif lagi. And Bond as an iconic hero out to defend the mankind from evil. Usually the evils always Russian people or Germany, right? To present a societal setting rife with tensions and distrust, we're going to Agatha Christie, the queen of crime fiction. She uses the mystifying Hercule Poirot as a central character in a succession of, formulaic, kind of deceptive novels. And because of this, when literature is incorporated into other forms of popular culture, for example, films, soap operas, comic books, and subversions of many types of develops. And then violence and then sex are two areas where invention happen, yet numerous misconceptions also take place as well. We can say that there are countless examples that might be cited. However, the modern world has compelled us to re-examine the notion of literary canon by, providing another mode of critical inquiry in steps of films and soap operas. By the way, soap operas is sinetron ya. All right. So what about the current situation of popular literature? Popular literature as a form of expression that was once considered folklore, folk song, people's literature for masses, it today responds to the call of a literate reading public, or the call of media and technology dominated the televisions and drama and cinema as well. The marketplace is driving force behind popular literature today. It provides the answer to the question, what sells and why, all right? And although its customers may be members of general public, its authors are frequently found inside the confines of study and academia. These popular fiction writers kind of chatter or facilitate to the consumerist age of today. They kind of deliver what the general public expects of them. For example, do you know Little Women? Teman-teman tahu ya, Little Women. Ini sebenarnya kan coming of age novel that was considered as popular back in the time it was produced or published. as a popular literature, the writer, I forgot the name of the writer, she was kind of influenced or directed by the publisher to write this kind of formulaic story. Even the ending of the story was also changed by the publisher. The publisher kind of demanded her to change the end. The original end was the protagonist, I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot a lot of names. The protagonist yang kalau di film itu diperankan oleh Saoirse Ronan, if I'm not mistaken ya namanya. Nah, dia itu harusnya nggak nikah.
Jo March.
Jo March, thank you, Mrs. Tia. Jo March ya. Di situ sebetulnya sudah ada benih-benih apa feminisme di situ ya, dengan mengkaburkan nama femininnya dari Jo, ya kan? Jo kayak jeneng cowok gitu, padahal aslinya cewek. Nah kebalikannya tuh yang suka sama Jo, siapa ya Mrs. Tia? Kok aku lali juga. Nah itulah.
Lupa dia. Lupa
Nggak
juga.
lupa. Namanya banyak bener ya yang harus kita ingat-ingat. Nah yang naksir tuh sama si Jo itu namanya tuh malah kayak kecewek-cewekan, padahal cowok.
Oh, iya.
Jadi di situ ada apa feminist agenda or gender agenda in that story. Anyway, si Jo ini harusnya nggak menikah. Maunya si penulis itu tidak menikah. It kind of reflects the author that doesn't want to get married. However, the publisher perceived that people wants happy ending. Ya, happy ending story yang harus menikah dengan laki idamannya begitu. Jadi akhirnya dinikahin deh begitu. Jadi so it has to cater the consumerist age of that day and what the general public expect that the story should be delivered. And popular literature is no longer treated as lowbrow writing, somewhat underserving of literary attention and critical scrutiny. Instead, it has developed a currency of its own in recent years. That's why we can learn about popular literature in classrooms. And kiosks buku gitu ya, which were located at railway station, bus stops, pavement. If in the UK ya, banyak pavement gitu yang ada buku-buku popular and other public places have become subject of literary and academic conferences as well as the university curricula, where scholars, publishers, and editors debate and discuss about the merits of their academic, literary, commercial, and popular merits. And in 1990s, popular literature has ceased to be dismissed as lowbrow literature, as the unworthy of literary consideration or critical analysis. Instead, it has gained a currency or value of its own in the marketplace as well. Besides being available at, train stations, bus stops, sidewalks, they can be found in literary academic conferences. Last time, I also, joined international conferences talking about Sherlock Holmes, talking about fan fiction, as well as in my classes. And that fact is that such restricted setting are no longer available to the modern world. It removes the term popular from the sphere of elite awareness and associates it with, regular people, the common masses instead. So what is, yang ditakuti oleh, yang ditakuti di awal ya, terkait dengan penggeseran bahwa mass culture atau mass literature can kind of shift its position with the the high literature. I think it is actually happened yeah, in the current situation. And with the blurring of the barriers between hierarchies and genre, as well as between the elite and the public, the low, the high, and the popular literature currently appears in a prestigious worlds, having inflated or having entered the bookshelves and must-read lists. And I think that's it. Saya sudah diberikan clue untuk mengakhiri materinya, dan memang sudah alhamdulillah pas banget materinya udah selesai. I think that's it for the material delivery, and I just give it back to Miss Lini. Yeah, thank you, Miss Lini.
Okay, thank you, Miss Adiba. Okay, I think this is a very interesting topic to discuss. Miss Adiba forget her time, but I believe that all participants here feel curious and want to ask the questions. For all the participants who have questions to Miss Adiba, please raise your hand, or you can type at a chat box. So our team will facilitate, so you can ask directly to Miss Adiba.
Hey, who wants to ask?
Who wants to ask?
Malu ini, Miss.
Yeah.
Malu ini. Mungkin ada yang bingung antara low bro dan high bro, atau sudah paham semua? Bingung semua, Miss. Saya kayak murid saya sukanya. Yuk, monggo. Kalau nggak ada pertanyaan, mungkin nanti malah ditanyain balik ini, Miss Lini.
Iya. Ayo, silakan for all the participants. Oke, Octavianus Randy.
Nah, Mas Octavianus itu?
Ya.
Oh.
Oke.
Good morning, ma'am.
Halo, good morning, Mas Okta.
I want to ask, is it possible for popular literature to be like culture? Popular culture with some modifications?
Okay. What do you mean with some modification?
I mean like Romeo and Juliet, and then it's modified like in modern, or the story kind of change it, but is it still okay or not?
Okay, that is a very good question. Can we change the classic novel or classic literature and make it new gitu ya? Of course you can. It is what happened with fan fiction, right? There are a lot of fan fiction happening around us, and we of course can make a new the old or the classic literature, but the currency could be different. Okay, the level, the value will be different from the classic, because the classic is considered as a canon, ya, yang komen keren banget gitu, yang bervalue, yang punya nilai. Sedangkan kalau fan fiction is not considered as important still, even though popular literature here has now, the division about popular and canon has been getting blurred, but still there's still classism, like what I have mentioned previously, if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't get to explore more about it. There is also classism inside popular literature. Kan aneh ya, padahal aslinya popular literature itu sebetulnya ingin menghapuskan klasis itu sendiri, tapi ternyata ada sendiri guys di situ. Contohnya fanfiction sendiri. Nah, di situ kayak Sherlock Holmes nih ya. yang sedang saya teliti selama tahun-tahun. Itu kan sebenarnya dia sendiri ceritanya termasuk popular literature, oke? Karena memang intended for the mass, itu dibaca untuk orang banyak. Tapi karena Sherlock Holmes ini sangat populer, fan-nya banyak, animonya oke banget, jadi banyak orang-orang yang menulis fanfiction about Sherlock Holmes. Some of the fanfiction are published, some of them are free to be accessed, available in the internet. Nah, yang publish itu mereka dianggap lebih bernilai daripada yang hanya publish di internet saja. Nah, jadi di situ ada classism dan ada perdebatan gitu. Fanfiction, it is ini ada yang berdebat seperti ini. Harusnya fanfiction itu it should be referring to the continuation of the canon, entah itu published, whether it is published or not. Tetapi ada juga yang berkata lain gitu. Ya beda lah, kalau yang dipublish kan harusnya harus lebih di-appreciated gitu. Karena memang kalau bisa lulus publication itu memang ada apa? Quality controlnya gitu, daripada yang hanya tersebar di Wattpad misalnya kayak gitu. Nah, kemudian pertanyaan tadi Mas Okta juga kayaknya kaitannya dengan apakah popular literature itu bisa berganti statusnya menjadi classic ya atau high literature. Of course bisa. Meskipun apa? Kategorinya atau patokannya itu nggak jelas juga gitu. Contohnya kayak yang tadi Romeo and Juliet and other Shakespeare's literary works. Karena dia itu banyak dipuji-puji oleh orang elit, maka statusnya keangkat juga. Gitu. Terus contohnya sekarang kita kan ada ini ya. What is it called? Coba tanya Mrs. Tia. Ini loh Miss yang penghargaan tertinggi literatur itu apa?
Pulitzer.
Oh, bukan Pulitzer. Apa ya?
Penghargaan yang untuk
yang itu loh.
Untuk yang populer.
Semuanya.
Yang mana?
Aduh, juga. Aduh, bentar. I'm going to Google it.
Okay, you can Google it, Miss.
Abdul Razak Gurnah itu menang apa dia? Nobel sastra, ya Allah. Nobel. Gitu ya, Nobel. Kalau yang menang-menang Nobel itu biasanya kayak ini ya, novelnya Abdul Razak Gurnah itu kan seharusnya kan populer kan? Karena memang itu intended for masses, tapi karena dia masuk ke Nobel sastra, dia jadi terangkat jadi sastra klasik kayak gitu. Padahal ya masih terbitan yang beberapa tahun yang lalu aja kayak gitu. Pokoknya salah satu titik temu ya atau takaran kelas populer menjadi klasik itu adalah apakah novel atau karya sastra itu mendapatkan penghargaan atau enggak kayak gitu. Tapi ada juga banyak yang tidak mendapatkan penghargaan. Misalnya kayak Romeo and Juliet lah ya, kita ngomongin itu aja patokannya. Emang dia pernah ada tuh penghargaan Nobel sastra zaman dulu? Nggak ada kan? Dia cuman hanya dipuji-puji aja sama kalangan atas, terus jadi dia ikut naik pamornya kayak gitu. Terus kayak tadi Little Woman itu kan juga sebenarnya student literature masuknya, which is popular at that time. Tapi dia masuk klasik juga. Kenapa? Ya gak tahu, nggak ada. Dia juga, I'm not really sure. Probably I missed that out. But I don't know if it get other penghargaan gitu. Ya, jadi memang ngeblur dan seharusnya maka dari itu kayak classism dalam literature should be diminished because the category doesn't mean anything, right? Kayak gitu sih, I think. Apakah sudah menjawab pertanyaannya Mas Okta?
Ya, sudah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the answer.
Oke, sami-sami. Lanjut, Mbak Angela. Hai, Mbak.
Next, Angela Novita.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. in bahasa.
Oh ya, nggak apa-apa. Saya juga mau dalam bahasa Indonesia aja, udah lemes lambenya ini ya. Tadi ngomong.
Selamat pagi, Mem. Selamat pagi semuanya. Terima kasih atas waktunya. Perkenalkan, saya Angela Novita. Saya berasal dari Sekolah Tinggi Bahasa Asing. Jadi di sini saya ingin bertanya, apakah high culture di Indonesia itu, apakah Indonesia termasuk negara yang memiliki high culture? Soalnya setelah dari tadi Mem sampaikan dan Mem jelaskan, itu kebanyakan dari Europe, Mem.
Oh ya, betul sekali. Yeah, I talk about a lot about Western culture because I'm teaching English
Yes,
literature ya.
ma'am.
Tapi kalau di Indonesia itu sendiri ada jelas. Kayak misalnya angkatan 45 gitu, balai pustaka. Nah, itu biasanya mereka kayak dianggap sebagai klasiknya kita. Kayak gitu. Terus kayak kemarin kayaknya sempat disinggung juga sama Miss Kiki ya, tentang penulis perempuan, I forgot the name, sangat-sangat terkenal beliau ini. Itu tentang seksualitas perempuan. Nah, itu kan sebetulnya masih perdebatan juga kan, apakah dia populer atau klasik gitu. Ada yang juga menganggapnya klasik because it's artistic atau gimana dan lain-lain. Tapi ada juga yang bilang, ih kayak gitu juga dibahas secara vulgar banget kayak gitu. Jadi kayak dianggap nggak penting dan lain-lain. Jadi ya itu tadi, actually the problem is the same between us in Indonesia and in the Western world. Kayak gitu. Oke, apakah sudah menjawab?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we move to Muhammad Tegar Arahim.
Okay, Mas Tegar, halo.
Hello, good morning, Miss. Good morning, ma'am. So, I have a question about popular culture. So, we talk about Western. They always specified and category the culture. For instance, like music and sport, they always divided into white industry and then black industry. Is it a negative thing about that? Well, for instance, like we talk about sport, basketball is a black man's sport, and then music, seriosa, hip hop is a black man's sport. Is it good to categorize that and divide it into two, white and black?
Of course not. It's called segregation ya. Segregation itu memang sangat even until now itu masih terjadi di Amerika meskipun tidak literally terstruktur gitu ya, karena memang dulu kan ada Jim Crow itu kan, di mana white sama black itu dibedakan tapi katanya sama gitu, padahal ya beda gitu. Misalnya rumah-rumahnya orang white itu lebih bagus daripada rumah-rumahnya orang black. Begitu juga kayak categorization on the popular culture which is black and white itu seharusnya juga dihilangkan gitu, because it's racist kan.
Yeah.
Kayak gitu. I think that's from me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Ada lagi? Ya ada nih, ayo laki-laki. Bertanyalah.
Ayo, yang mau bertanya.
Malu sekali kalian ini ya. Oke. Kalau tidak ada yang bertanya, gimana ini, Miss Emily nih?
Kalau nggak ada yang bertanya, I think we need to end this question and answer session.
Okay.
So the rest of the session will be host with our MC.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we dismiss our webinar, we need to have a photo session. I will welcome each of the audience to turn on the camera and present your most beautiful smile at the screen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our speakers today for sharing their knowledge, especially our special guest, Ma'am Adiba. Thank you for joining our webinar today, ma'am. And thank you for the knowledge that has been given. We are glad for having you in our webinar. And thank you for all participants for following our webinar until the end today. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Yeah, and everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. For the certificate, maybe
Oh, ini mau penyerahan sertifikat. Oh, gitu.
just symbolic.
Siap. Ini tanda apa salamannya gimana nih?
Ma'am Irma, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Sistia. Hello, Ma'am Adiba. Nice to
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, it's a very interesting topic, especially for me. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. Really, really. Yeah, thank you so much for enlightening us, for your knowledge, your enthusiasm for discussing today about our topic. And then also thanks for taking your time and sharing your knowledge also. But ma'am, maybe just a little thing. I already gotten some points. Yeah. You say that literature view as mirror to people. This is interesting for me. And then literature also reflected society as a whole. And while culture is a human reverence and rules in living a social life, isn't it, ma'am?
Yep.
Okay. And then also I got a popular culture wants to erase classes.
Yes, classes.
Also, okay, and then okay, ma'am. So today there is a very extraordinary additional knowledge that we got. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So now, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present the certificate of appreciation to our speaker, to our guest speaker, Ma'am Adiba Konita Zahro, yeah, SSM lead, for her sharing and participation. Yeah, this is the certificate, ma'am.
Thank you, Bu Irma, Bu Tia, Bu Lini, dan jajarannya.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you once again, and please give more applause to our honorable speaker. Just hold your hand.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Adiba. See you next.
See you next time.
Okay.
See you around.
Applause.
Give applause. Give applause.
Clap. Thank you, Miss Adiba, for sharing ya. Jangan jerah ya.
Oh tidak, thank you for having me here.
Nanti
happy to be back.
Nanti kita ketemu lagi, mudah-mudahan in the next webinar with different topics.
Oke, di luar webinar juga nggak apa-apa loh, Ti.
Oh iya, oke, boleh. Reuninya di webinar aja ya.
Oh, sedih banget. Udah tua mah gitu.
Iya, udah tua.
Oke.
Semoga bahagia selalu ya, Miss.
Oh iya, kamu juga sehat-sehat sama keluarga, adik-adik kecil.
Iya. Kamu juga semoga segera.
Stop there. Sudah tidak bahas itu.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye everyone.
Okay, feel free to leave, yeah, Miss.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oke, Mem. Bisa meninggal.